watch it, I enjoy it thoroughly. I have no idea what's going on.
It's a trippy concept.
We were like, this is so weird.
Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers for a couple of hours.
The last episode of Severance Season 1 released on April 8th, 2022. Almost 3 years ago. And in this downtime between seasons 1 and 2, my brain was severed. It was like part of my brain completely forgot how good this show was. But with the return of season 2 and the second that opening scene came on, it was like that Severance chip got activated again. Suddenly I remembered how much I loved this show. It feels like Severance right now is a phenomenon. I mean, I don't know when the last time there was a show where I could talk to so many people about it. I've got multiple Severance group chats going. Dude, literally the other day at work, I just talked Severance with one of my coworkers for the whole shift. And that was honestly the best shift ever. It makes no sense how good this show is. And I mean that literally. It doesn't make any sense. The show had everything stacked against it. For the mass amount of success and popularity that Severance is achieving today, it's kind of incredible that it even got here. Apple TV had a rocky start before Severance came along and became a breakout hit. In 2021, 2 years after its launch, Apple TV Plus had an estimated 20 million subscribers in the US. You compare this to Netflix's 209 million globally at the time. Sure, of course Apple TV wasn't going to be as big as Netflix when it first dropped, but it felt like a streaming service that people just would watch stuff because they got a free trial from Apple. Nobody was lining up at your door and telling you, you gotta watch this show on Apple. The subscriber base was continuing to drop, and while Apple TV had a hit in Ted Lasso, many of its other early originals like See, The Morning Show, and Foundation received mixed to negative critical reception. And most importantly, they didn't generate any cultural buzz. When you compared Apple TV to other streaming platforms like Netflix, Max, Hulu, Prime, they all had these shows that were cultural phenomenons. Shows that it felt like you couldn't get a conversation in without someone bringing them up. Nowadays, Apple TV is receiving a lot of praise for its original shows. But I want you to remember, at this time, there was no Shrinking, no Silo, no Slow Horses. On top of this, Ben Stiller had a shaky resume as a director. He directed Tropic Thunder and Zoolander, which are great movies, but nobody praises them for their directing. To go along with this, he directed The Cable Guy, the failed Ben Stiller Show, Heat Vision and Jack, whatever the heck that is, and Zoolander 2. Even Ben's most successful directorial piece, being The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, wasn't universally loved. So when you take this failing platform and this comedic actor turned middle-of-the-road director, you don't expect this. By March 2022, searches for Apple TV Plus content spiked, and new subscriber signups reportedly increased by 20 to 25%. Severance's unexpected success put Apple TV in a new tier of prestige TV. The show made a 98% Rotten Tomatoes score and earned 14 Emmy noms. The show spread rapidly, and within weeks, millions of people were breaking down their own personal theories and ideas surrounding the show. But if Severance had all these odds stacked against it, how was it able to break free? And the answer is, it all goes back to the blueprint established by shows like Lost or Twin Peaks. Love or hate the ending, Lost was the phenomenon of its time. Lost and Twin Peaks had everyone glued to their screens because they perfected this blueprint for audience engagement. The shows had a masterful balance of mystery and episodic reveals. When looking at Lost, you had this J.J. Abrams mystery box concept where you would introduce these intriguing questions without immediate answers. It was central to the success of Lost. And when you look at Severance, this is exactly what they're doing. The shows start with big, compelling mysteries, and they keep layering new mysteries over existing ones. So even when a question gets answered, a new one takes its place. And most importantly of all, each episode provides small reveals, keeping audiences engaged without resolving the bigger questions too quickly. I feel satisfied after every single episode of Severance. It doesn't feel like I wasted my time at all. It actually feels like I figured out all of the mystery when, in reality, we only solved a small piece of the entire puzzle. But that's the magic of Severance. It understands that mystery alone isn't enough. You need emotional investment. That's what separates Severance from a show that just strings you along with endless questions. At its core, this isn't just a show about a bizarre office with mind-wiping technology. It's about Mark, Helly, Irving, and Dylan. It's about their desperate search for meaning in a world that refuses to give them one. And just like with Lost, it's the characters' emotional stakes that make the reveals hit harder. When we learn about Helly's true identity, it isn't just shocking, it completely redefines her struggle. Or when Irving finds Bert's house, it's not just this plot twist that Irving was able to find his house, it's a heartbreak. Every mystery is deeply intertwined to the characters, which is why it keeps us invested. You take all of this together, and no matter the obstacles that were in Severance's way, this is why it's dominated conversations. Severance isn't just a show you watch, it's a show you obsess over. You discuss it, you theorize about it, and then you rewatch it to see all the breadcrumbs you missed the first time. And with Severance Season 2, that cycle is just starting all over again. So even though I may have severed my excitement during the long wait and forgot about why this show is so good, just like Mark in the last episode, I remembered exactly why I love this show so much. No, but on a real note though, like, let's hope we start getting some answers soon before we all start losing our minds, and so I don't look like a complete idiot saying all this. Please. Please. Why are there goats? Tell me.
The music dance experience is officially canceled.